advantage. Just a nice, really great scramble, a good college match to watch, and Oklahoma State comes out on top and now comes up with the team score of 12-0.
First loss of the year for Jordan Titus. Multagan Jamison gets the W. So here we are at 149. It'll be Sammy Alvarez for the second time this weekend for Oklahoma State against Ty Waters, the lanky freshman, 16-3 on the season. A major decision winner against Columbia last weekend, whereas Alvarez got a major decision win against a ranked wrestler at Pitt, making his Cowboy debut. He's a Rutgers transfer. Wrestled his first 3 collegiate seasons at 149, or 133, now up to 149.
Well, the one thing is for Ty Waters is really good on top, and if he can get on top, if he gets better on his feet like he's doing right here, being a little more aggressive, getting the opportunity to maybe finish this single, you can see Alvarez trying to do some of the same things Jordan Titus does, and trying to hook anything, trying to dive back in at the leg, trying to get into a different position. And of course, Alvarez got to be careful he doesn't get called for, trying to run off the mat here. And there, not a takedown yet. No takedown yet. He's got that whizzer in.
Half the fans have been here this season. They're screaming 3. Right. The other half haven't, and they're screaming 2.
Right.
They'll learn.
That, oh, man, just a nice job by Alvarez and sort of sitting. Takes that sit and sitting towards him, puts Waters a little bit off balance and keeps that from being a takedown there on the edge of the mat.
Great athleticism out of Sammy Alvarez.
So those kind of scrambles take things out of both guys, right?
Sure.
I mean, they
like what we saw at the end of the Titus Jamison match.
Yeah, they were both
guys,
exhausted.
They were working hard. They had worked hard.
They certainly were. So those scrambles take some out of you, and the question is, how does that translate as the match goes on? Who's willing to go in there and keep doing that?
Who has more in the bucket, and who has a reserve they didn't know they had?
Well, and I think it's a willingness in this sport. Like this sport, really more than almost every other sport, you've got to be willing
to be
the
leg for Alvarez.
Physically uncomfortable. And there's Waters rolling through. Alvarez has Waters in a little bit of danger.
When you talk about physical uncomfort or discomfort, how about Alvarez, or after Waters, with his leg, and he was able to push back with the leg that was in a bad spot.
Yeah, Waters isn't in a great place here in terms of that's not danger. He rolls through. You see Alvarez trying to lift the inside leg to try to get him to roll back. Waters hanging on. If he can sit up, and he's in better position.
And now he kind of moved right into what Alvarez was trying to do, but Alvarez switches up.
Sits back over the top of him, just continuing to maneuver, right? Leg after leg. Usually the guy who's got his head up here has the advantage. But you got to get your feet clean. You can't get your feet clean, then it's hard to turn and go back toward him. And that's another great scramble by them. What a heck of a first period. No points, but what a heck of a period.
Yeah, no points, but both of those guys get a big round of applause because they put in a ton of work and they spent a lot of energy on that, Tony.
They sure as heck did. I mean, both of them just, that was a fight. We heard both Coach Flynn and Coach Smith talk about toughness, right? And this is where you're seeing that. I mean, you got to be mentally tough. I mean, not just physically tough, but mentally tough to keep putting yourself in these positions, keep scrambling, keep fighting, keep turning.
Waters working on Alvarez's shoulder.
Right, he's trying that half. This is where he's really good and has a nice job of pulling people backwards and jumping over to that side, a la kind of Gene Mills back in the Syracuse days.
For being a lanky guy, Waters has an incredible amount of upper body strength.
Well, it's a good leverage, right? You're able to reach places most people can't reach. And he does a nice job of continuing to do this stuff and try to jump over to that side. Now, Alvarez...
Right. With those long legs, we're able to hop over and make that and bridge that gap.
Now, Alvarez trying to come out on that side does a nice job of countering that as he isolates Waters' arm so he frees himself. Now Waters trying to roll Alvarez through what he was trying to do the first time.
Fans got a count here.
They got a 2 count.
Two for West Virginia. Virginia.
Just a great scramble and a great fight. Waters comes out on top of that one with a 2-point near fall. And he's got Alvarez bent down on the mat pretty well.
Tony, this sure looks like it's going to wind up being a battle of attrition. Whoever is willing to dig deeper is the one that's willing to win, is going to win this.
Well, I mean, I hate to say this, but that's a lot of college wrestling right there. I mean, who's ever willing to keep fighting and keep pushing? And
well, right, but it seems like these two are both spending the energy.
Right, and Waters not in a great spot. You see, Alvarez has got the leg isolated. Waters got to try to pull him towards him a little bit, and maybe take him off the mat. Oh, man.
Alvarez lifted the feet for just a second.
Well, it technically doesn't matter whether your feet are on the mat or not. It's being outside the cone, but they were really close to the edge of being on the floor, too. So the referee doesn't like you being on the actual floor very much, so they usually blow that one dead.
Not like baseball. If one comes into the crowd, you can't keep taking it home, you know.
Right. 17 seconds left in the period. Alvarez knows he has to be able to get out, right? To be able to score some points here, he's going to try to... And he's got a good chance of doing it.
5 seconds in the clock.
Now he's going to get a reversal
to tie it up.
Right, he does it. He does a nice job. He actually gets a reversal on that because Waters gets a little loose. 2-2. Now Waters has a minute 55 in riding time.
Yeah, as soon as I was about to say that, I looked at it. I saw our fine crew had popped that on the screen. So Waters.
There's some heavy breathing on both their parts.
Yeah, these guys are gassed. Waters essentially leads this 3-2. And I think you're seeing, well, these guys don't have a lot left in the tank, but I'll bet
well, they're trying to be careful about what positioning they're in, right? So Alvarez is going to cut him loose because he can't ride him forever, and he might end up down by one if he gives up the escape late anyway. So it gives him an opportunity to get up and get to his feet and see if he can get that takedown.
I was going to say, I'll bet there's a burst somewhere.
Wow.
Both of these guys.
Oh, most definitely. And probably an ensuing scramble after
no doubt.
The rest of the match is gone.
No doubt. Waters out of Imperial, Pennsylvania. Alvarez, Garfield, New Jersey. Alvarez, a graduate student. Waters, a freshman. Youth versus experience. Final minute of the third period. Waters has a riding time point. He got an escape point to take the lead.
Now, this is a match on paper that you're West Virginia. You expect them to win here, right, with Waters over Alvarez. But Alvarez has done a really nice job of continuing to do some things in terms of keep Waters on the defensive, and particularly with some shots. Wasn't able to get turned.
And at this point, if they want a chance in the duel, it's one they got to have if you're West Virginia.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, that was one of the things that there's a nice shot by Alvarez, right? So
30 seconds, so this is when they go.
Waters is able to get out of that fairly easy.
Down to 20. A shot from Alvarez on the leg.
Well, Waters is just trying to play the edge here a little bit, try to suck up some time. There's only 10 seconds left. He's got to be careful, though. Alvarez trying to get the
Oklahoma State's entire coaching staff right there within about 5 feet of the scramble.
It's 5 seconds left. And you're right, you know, this is what happened at Pitt yesterday is they racked up like 6 wins in a row on the front end, right? They weren't able to stop and break them. But you got to wrestle all the way to the last
time. Is going to run out for Alvarez. Ty Waters wins by a 4-2 decision. Number 17 this year for the freshman Ty Waters. What a scramble we saw for 3 periods between Ty Waters and Sammy Alvarez. They left it all out there.